Welcome! I'm Dr. Gordon Sachs, and today I'll be speaking about how outer beauty reflects inner health. Our society is obsessed with the physical appearance of youth and vitality, but it doesn't teach us that outer beauty is a manifestation of inner health. Instead, we're led to think of beauty as something superficial, the product of applying the latest cosmetic, or passively receiving some new fad treatment or even surgical procedure. And as a result, most of us don't understand how to naturally cultivate our beauty and attractiveness, or recognize how strong a reflection it is of what we eat and how we live. So in today's presentation, we're going to discuss several aspects of outer beauty: the appearance of our face, skin, and hair, our level of muscle tone and physical fitness, the smell of our breath and body, our mental acuity, and how youthful we appear as we age, and show how each of these important areas is a function of the inner health of our cells, tissues, and vital organs. When we look at someone, what's the first thing we usually notice? Probably their face. Chinese medicine has a long and rich history of facial and visual diagnosis, so let's take this perspective as we analyze a person's physical appearance, starting with the eyes. According to Chinese medicine, the eyes reveal the health of the liver. Many eye conditions are thought to be related to a problem with stagnation of the qi, or life energy, that flows through the liver. A deep vertical line or furrow between the eyes is also said to suggest problems with the liver. We may also notice bags under the eyes. In Chinese medicine, these suggest swollen, waterlogged kidneys that aren't adequately doing their job of filtering waste products from the blood. The kidneys are also inextricably linked to the ears. Kidney qi energy is said to flow to the ears, and we can divine the health of our kidneys, and along with it, our constitutional strength and reserve, by examining the ears. It may be hard to believe, yet from the perspective of developmental biology, we know that the ears and kidneys develop in utero from the same place, the first branchial arch, and at the same time, between the 5th and 8th weeks of gestation. We've also observed that individuals born with what's referred to as branchio-otorenal syndrome have a congenital malformation of both their inner and outer ears and their kidneys. And in Western pharmacology, we know that certain drugs, such as streptomycin and cisplatin, that are known to be nephrotoxic or toxic to the kidneys, have oddly, we profess to have no idea why, also been found to be ototoxic, or toxic to the ears, and to sometimes produce ringing in the ears and even hearing loss. Continuing on down, we next notice the cheeks. Again, per Chinese medicine, these show us the health of the lungs. For example, excessively red or puffy cheeks may suggest inflammation of the lungs. When we get to examining the tip of the nose, we may see the health of the heart. For example, swelling there could be suggestive of heart enlargement or congestive heart failure, and veins appearing around the tip of the nose may be suggestive of hypertension. Lips, with their position at the beginning of the GI tract, are thought to reveal the health of the intestines. Cracks, fissures, or swelling of the lips may suggest similar processes at work in the small and large intestines. What's the next thing we notice after the face? Often, it's the overall quality of their skin. The skin is seen in Chinese medicine as reserve kidney, and when the burden on the kidneys exceeds their ability to clear toxins from the body, we sometimes see the development of rashes, skin eruptions, and other skin conditions. Next, we may notice their hair. Does it look healthy and well-nourished, or thin and damaged? The average person loses 50 to 100 hairs per day. An acceleration of hair loss is often the reflection of malnutrition or poor circulation in the body. According to Chinese medicine, the quality of hair is related to the health of the liver and kidneys. If these organs are strong, the hair will be thick, healthy, and retain its color, even as we age. And what's the next thing we notice after their hair? Often, it's the whole body physique. Are they lean? Are they toned? Are they holding their body straight or hunched over? So we're starting to see a picture of health from the face to the whole body. But what else do you think people notice about you? Get a little closer, and they'll probably notice how you smell. Bad breath and body odor are often the result of waste products of digestion. When you eat a lot of animal products or refined and processed foods, your digestion will reflect it, and you'll excrete the breakdown products of these foods in your sweat. Some of those chemicals may also enter the bloodstream and get absorbed by the lungs and then exhaled in the breath. The best way to help remedy the situation is through a plant-based diet, and more specifically, high consumption of greens, particularly parsley and mint. A daily cup of green tea can also freshen breath. Now, if we take a step beyond the surface qualities of a person, such as their face, body, and scent, as we get to know someone a little more, we tend to notice various aspects of their mental abilities. For example, how sharp they are or how keen is their memory. And these are indicators of brain health. Dr. Gene Bowman, a nutritionally oriented neurology researcher at Oregon Health Sciences University, found that serum indicators of higher intake of plant foods were associated with reduction of the cognitive decline and brain shrinkage that normally occurs as part of the aging process. Eventually, we come to notice a deeper level of beauty. How kind and compassionate are they? Is there love and peace in their heart? It's no coincidence that among various world religions, there's a common denominator of dietary guidelines for greater spiritual attainment. In Buddhism, it's vegetarianism. For those following Hinduism, Ayurveda, yoga, and Jainism, it's what's referred to as a sattvic, or pure diet. In Judaism, the dietary practice is known as kashrut, or kosher. And in Islam, it's referred to as halal. Speaking of religion, one particular religious group, Seventh-day Adventists, many of whom follow a purely plant-based or vegan diet, has been the subject of a great deal of university research. And what's been found is that the more closely they adhere to a purely plant-based diet, the leaner they are, the lower their risk of diabetes, heart disease, and cancer, and the longer they live. The findings are echoed by a massive population study by the National Institutes of Health that was conducted among about 500,000 members of AARP, the American Association of Retired People. In the AARP study, it was found that the more meat people consumed, the higher their risk of a variety of cancers and the shorter their lifespan. Clinical studies reinforce these observations. One of these, a study by Dr. Dean Ornish of men with prostate cancer, looked at blood levels of telomerase, the enzyme that supports the production of telomeres. Telomeres are short DNA sequences on the end of chromosomes that protect them and allow cells to divide. The problem is that a bit of the telomere sequence is lost every time a cell divides, and when the telomeres disappear completely, the cell dies. And when more and more cells in the body can no longer replicate, we age, and eventually we die. When the men in Ornish's study adopted a whole food, plant-based diet, reinforced by stress reduction, exercise, and other healthy lifestyle changes, their levels of telomerase increased, suggesting an anti-aging effect of this approach. But perhaps the strongest evidence for an anti-aging effective diet comes from a line of research first conducted almost 70 years ago by Dr. Albert Tannenbaum that looked at the effects of caloric restriction in animals. It found that undereating delays aging. It greatly slows the normal age-related decline in immune function, results in a dramatic reduction in cancer and other diseases of aging, and is the most effective way to increase a healthy lifespan in just about every animal species that it's been tested on. So, given all this, I suggest that to achieve inner health and outer beauty, the best place to start is with a balanced, whole food, plant-based diet that's locally grown and organic whenever possible. But more specifically, I'd like to share a few tips from both modern nutrition science as well as the traditional dietary and natural healing practices of the ancients. Starting from the inside out, here's how we can strengthen some of the inner vital organs. To improve the health of the heart, try onions. Onion family vegetables contain a flavonoid called quercetin that can lower blood pressure and total cholesterol, raise HDL, or good cholesterol, and lower one's overall risk of heart disease. Omega-3 rich nuts, such as almonds and walnuts, have also been shown to lower serum cholesterol and serum glucose and to improve the health of blood vessels. To improve one's circulation, I also suggest alternating hot and cold water when you're in the shower. This causes a slight flushing effect in which blood vessels dilate a little bit and then constrict a little bit, causing an overall increase in circulation. But if you're just starting or suffer from heart disease, I recommend starting off gently, alternating from mildly hot to mildly cold. For the lungs, onions and onion family vegetables, such as onions, leeks, shallots, scallions, chives, garlic, can cut mucus and improve breathing. A regular practice of meditation engaging the diaphragm can enhance pulmonary capacity. And acupuncture may help open up the airways, possibly via effects on the autonomic nervous system. And be careful of your overall fat intake. According to nutritional epidemiologist Dr. Lawrence Colonel, high fat intake has been found to be almost as bad as cigarettes for risk of lung cancer. To improve gut health, make sure to incorporate a small amount of fermented foods like miso and raw sauerkraut in your daily diet. These foods are teeming with active cultures such as lactobacillus and bifidus that can help replenish the gut microflora. Cabbage family vegetables are also excellent for gut health. They can help to soothe the intestines, reduce inflammation, and help regulate the bowels. And their regular intake can also help reduce the risk of colon cancer. It's also important to limit or avoid intake of meat, particularly charbroiled meat and processed lunch meat, as it's suspected of increasing risk of colon and other cancers. To promote kidney health, Chinese medicine recommends, among other things, two specific foods: Job's tears, a grain in the barley family, and aduki beans, and beans in general. Interestingly, beans are one of the best foods for controlling blood sugar in diabetic patients and protecting the kidneys, one of the main targets of this disease. Next, moving from inner health to outer beauty, let's look at the skin. Remember that according to Chinese medicine, our skin is related to kidney health, and so the same foods that promote the health of the kidneys are thought to be good for the skin. Another important recommendation for healthy skin is self-care. To help the skin glow, I suggest gently brushing your skin with a natural bristle brush. This may also assist the kidneys in their eliminatory function, and many people attest that dry skin brushing may be the single most important therapy to add to their detox program. Moving from the skin to the hair, the following hair-healthy dietary changes may, over a period of months, lead to noticeable improvements. Black sesame seeds, kelp, and other seaweeds, spirulina, and plankton are also thought by various natural healing traditions to promote the growth of lush, soft, full, flowing hair and to help prevent premature graying. Seaweed is also rich in a variety of minerals including iron that have been shown to combat thinning hair. Other iron and mineral-rich plant foods include whole grains, leafy greens, beans, and dried fruit. How about your physique? If you consider yourself an athlete, or like to work out a lot, you may be interested in what some of the world's greatest professional athletes have to say. In the worlds of world-class triathlete turned firefighter Rip Esselstyn, numerous professional athletes and bodybuilders report that their athletic performance is improved with a plant-based diet. Just to name a few, Scott Jurek, one of the leading ultramarathon runners in the world and winner of many of the sport's most prestigious races on multiple occasions, attributes his success to a plant-based diet. Professional Ironman triathlete Brendan Brazier attests that his endurance and recovery time are directly related to his plant-based diet. But you don't have to aspire to be a professional athlete to enjoy related benefits of this diet. In addition to diet, consider including yoga and Tai Chi in your life. These meditative exercises can be some of the best ways to accomplish the goals of strength, balance, and tone and posture, in addition to increasing flexibility, overall circulation, and brain health. Exercise, something as simple as walking, also improves memory, sleep, and mood. How about other ways to improve the health and functioning of the brain? Try drinking tea. The antioxidants found in green, black, and kukicha tea may be potent in supporting brain health. Brown rice is one of the best sources of B vitamins, which are essential to brain health. Cabbage and cauliflower are naturally rich in choline, a precursor to the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, and are also excellent. Walnuts are rich in tryptophan, a precursor for the neurotransmitter serotonin, and they're also high in omega-3 fats and help to reduce inflammation and promote circulation, both of which are important for both brain and heart health. Other omega-3 rich brain and heart healthy foods include whole grains, seeds, nuts, and microalgae. It also turns out that what's good for the brain may be good for the aging process. University of Kentucky researcher Dr. David Weckstein, in a study of healthy centenarians, or those who've lived to be over 100, asked the question, what accounts for health in the oldest of the old? One of his main findings was that they were well educated, although not necessarily in terms of formal education, and they used their brains a lot. What else distinguished these folks? Most of them never smoked, though there were a few tobacco chewers. They rarely drank coffee, and they took only an occasional drink of alcohol. None was overweight, and most didn't eat red meat. While most of them had lost some brain size, it was, on average, much less than their unhealthy peers. And also, they're future-oriented. As Weckstein says, these 100-year-olds are not sitting around waiting to die. They're really alive. So try these recommendations, and I believe your system will register these changes at a deep level, protecting your body from aging and disease and manifesting in glowing health and well-being for a lifetime.